Hi, I'm John Paul, AAA's car doctor. And now that we're heading into nicer weather, it's really time to think about your battery in your car. And one of the first signs of battery problems is slow engine cranking. And one of the reasons that can happen is because of corrosion at the battery terminals. A lot of people think batteries are truly maintenance-free, but they're not. Some batteries you can add water to, but all batteries you need to make sure you clean the battery connections. And that's an important thing to make sure the electricity gets from the battery to the starter and the other critical electrical components. The battery in this car is pretty typical of any 5-year-old car. There's some corrosion around the terminals, and before we can test it, we actually need to clean the battery cables and clean the connections and make sure that it's going to test properly. One of the simplest things you can do is make sure the battery is clean. And there'll always be some corrosion around the top of the battery, and it's very simple to clean. Take a little bit of baking soda, add it in a cup of water, and mix it around a little bit, and then take a brush of some sort, stir it around, and then simply put it on top of the battery cables, brush it off. The baking soda will actually neutralize any of the battery acid. That will clean the corrosion off the outside of the battery, and that way you'll get part of that good and clean before you go to disassemble it and clean it further with a specialized brush. One of the most important parts is to make sure that the battery cables are good and clean. And when we come out, we'll take off the battery cables and we'll clean them with a couple of specialized tools. So first off, you start by removing the negative cable first. That's the safest thing to do. Remove the cable. Same thing with the positive cable. Take that off. Carefully remove it. When we come out, we actually use a memory-saving device to keep the battery connections alive to the car so you don't lose any of the memories for the radio and clock and things like that. Then you take a specialized battery cleaning brush, simply put it on top of the battery, wind it down. It cleans the terminals on the battery. Same thing with the battery cable itself. Clean the corrosion off of it. Do this on both the negative and positive cables, then reassemble it afterward. And then you have a good connection from the battery to the starter. You do this before you even test the battery. This is an inexpensive voltmeter. It works great for doing some basic things, but this is not the tool you want to use to test your battery. At AAA, when we come out, we use a special new tool. It's called the B2Q tool, and it's fast, it's accurate, and really tells you the condition of the battery. And it's simple to use for the technician who comes out. They connect it up. It generates a barcode or a QR code here, and then once the code is established, you scan it with your phone, and the technician will have a phone or a tablet handy. They'll simply scan the QR code. When they do, they'll give you an indication of what the condition of the battery is in this car. In this particular car, the state of charge, the battery is fully charged, it's at 100%, but the actual health of the battery is not very good, it's about 40%. So the battery in this car, this is a battery that's gonna give the owner trouble. So this is a battery that needs to be replaced. If the battery in your car is starting to show some signs of age or it's more than 5 years old, why don't you call the professionals at AAA? We'll come out, we'll test the battery, we'll clean the battery connections, and if necessary, we'll put a fresh battery in your car. That way you won't need jumper cables. Get a quote today.